You're tuned into the Black Nation of Israel. We're going to start in in the book of the Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, starting in verse 9. Going to read a few scriptures that's dealing with this subject. The subject is that we don't have to join an Israelite camp on the streets. And I've been knowing this for I've been knowing this for quite some time. Really, when I found out that I was a Israelite in the summer of 2009, I've been knowing that we don't have to join a camp. You see, we are Israelites by birth. You see, we really don't have to join a camp. And the truth of the matter is that since Christ came, that obliterated the camps. You see, since Christ, the Messiah, Yahushua, since he came, he counseled all of that. We are Israelites by birth. You see. And the scriptures teach this. It's in the New Testament. It's okay. I'm gonna start in verse 9 of Hebrews 13. It say, "Be not carried about with divers and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace." It say it's a good thing that the heart be established with grace. See, grace fixes the heart. That's what grace does. It fixes the heart, the inner man. That's what grace does. The people that was under the Israelites that was under the Levitical priesthood, it was external. It was dealing with the external material things, the surface part. Grace deals with the heart, the inner man. Grace deals with the heart, you see. It fixes the heart. The Levitical law could not fix the heart. Okay. Now moving on. I got some more. It's going to get very interesting. It say, "For it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with meats, which have not profited them that have been occupied therein." Because the meats was material, and it was dealing with the animal sacrifices and all of that. You know, the forefathers never kept the laws. Also, they couldn't keep all the laws of the Torah. They couldn't keep all of those 613 laws. Okay. "We have an altar, whereof they have no right to eat, which serve the tabernacle." You say, we have an altar. The altar our altar now is Christ Yahushua. You see? Our Christ now is Christ Yahushua. "Whereof they have no right to eat, which serve the tabernacle." The ones who is under, going back to the Levitical priesthood, or the laws of the Torah. or the Mosaic law. If you're trying to keep the Mosaic law, you can't. It says they have no right to eat which serve the tabernacle. In other words, you can't eat from the altar of Christ if you are under the Mosaic law, or you're trying to keep the Levitical laws of Moses. You can't serve under Christ. It's either one or the other. Verse 11, for the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burned without the camp. Those animal sacrifices was burned without the camp. That's what it's saying. Verse 12, wherefore Jesus also, in Hebrew his name is Yahushua, wherefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. When Christ, Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, his blood, when he shed his blood, he was without the camp also. You see, verse 13, let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp. That's what I wanted to get at right here. This is the key point of the video. This is why we don't have to join a camp. Verse 13, it say, let us go forth, therefore, unto him, unto Christ, Yahushua, without the camp. Because he's our high priest now. Christ is our high priest. And we have faith in him. Bearing his reproach. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. It's talking about the heavenly Jerusalem that will be coming down out of heaven. In the book of Revelation speaks about this. You see, we're looking for a heavenly Jerusalem or spiritual Jerusalem, because the spiritual is more glorious than the one we see right here. That the spiritual is more glorious than the material or the earthly one. You see, that's why the scriptures say it say his rest was more glorious. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to Elohim continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices Elohim is well pleased. It say, but to do good and to communicate, forget not. Do good to your fellow brother and sister. See, it's talking about unification. This is unification. See, we have to be unified. This is what the Heavenly Father in Christ want us to love ourselves. We have to get the unity back. Go back to loving our people. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. Don't forget this. And this is what happened to us. This is what happened to us. We forgot to continue to do good to each other and to have unity for each other. and to start back loving our children, because there's too many children that's growing up to be unloved. Too many of the children is suffering gunshot wounds in the neighborhoods, in the hoods of in the ghettos of America. Innocent bystanders and growing up unloved. And yeah, we have to get back to the unity. See, the New Testament, mainly the New Testament, is about the unification of Israelites, the black man and black woman of Negro descent, of the Israelites, under the grace of Christ, the Messiah. Because remember what I said, the grace is about fixing the heart, you see. And our hearts need to be fixed. Our hearts need to be fixed. Because all you got to do is look at the state and the condition and the mindset of our people. You see, our heart needs to be fixed under Christ. And it's the New Testament. If we abide by the unification of the New Testament, because that's really what the New Testament is teaching. Also, part of the New Testament is dealing with the unification of Israelites under Christ. You see, and back to what I was saying earlier, we don't have to join a camp. That's what Hebrews 13:13 is about. That's what it's saying. We don't have to join a camp. That's been counseled out by Christ, because now we should look to him. You see, he's our high priest. Yeah, Christ is our high priest now. Okay, this is the end of the video. Peace.